Lamar Jackson, at this point, I'm not sure the stock could get much higher, but like the part of this that is staggering is this: his 5-year, $260 million extension. It's a bargain, Frank. He's not wrong. Like, it's a bargain at this point. $260 million bucks for Lamar.
8th in the league in annual average value right now. 8th. Is that insane?
And if you really honestly put like value, like let's say there was like no salary cap or like the NBA salary cap or whatever, you just, how much would Lamar really truly be worth? Like to the Ravens franchise, he'd be worth $150 million a year. Like really, truly, like if you didn't worry about like the salary cap, like his worth is whatever, you're going to pay a top end basketball player, LeBron James or whatever. Yeah. And this is why I don't want to go down this road because everybody pushes back on me, but the rest of the NFL didn't even try. They didn't even try. They did not try. And I can't believe it to this day. And you cannot convince me that there was not some unspoken collusion going on there because they didn't want to give the Deshaun Watson deal again. And well, now Lamar Jackson's won an MVP. He's the front runner for the MVP now, and there's really no reason he can't win it again. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's already punched that ticket with his second MVP. Go look at that list. And it bothers me immensely that no team even tried to get Lamar Jackson in free agency. That would not happen in any other sport. Everybody was playing nicey with each other, and that'll bother me until Lamar Jackson's career is over.
And Frank, no, I would argue because it happened, the proximity of the talks, the negotiations with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson that really weren't happening. There weren't negotiations. It was just silence for so long. And a lot of that was driven by Lamar. But externally, I would argue that no player was probably more damaged in terms of his availability with other teams. No player was more damaged than Lamar Jackson was by the Deshaun Watson deal because it was such a burn moment in the NFL. So many owners were pissed off about that contract that Deshaun Watson ultimately ended up signing with the Cleveland Browns. And I think that there were ripple effects of that impacted what Lamar Jackson's market ultimately ended up looking like. But here's the crazy thing about Lamar Jackson that I really love. He signed the deal and he has gone out and done nothing but earn every single cent of it.
And then some.
Now, I will say this: the playoffs that is his next frontier. He's got to be able to really turn the corner in the playoffs and break through. He has not done that, right? And that is a criticism, and I get it. But I will say this about Lamar Jackson: this offseason, he decided, I don't like how I feel at this heavier weight. Like when I'm around 240, I don't feel like I am the kind of dynamic player. I can't run the way I want. I can't navigate around the field. My explosiveness is lessened. So he drops this weight in the offseason. And I remember the first time I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, that is crazy.
I remember opening night being like, wow, Lamar's skinny.
Stunned. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I saw him. I remember he went out for a practice and the Ravens put up like a clip of him running out to practice. And I was like, oh my God, like this looks like him at Louisville. Like that's what his physique looked like. And I'm like, is this going to work? Like, is he going to get hurt again? But now when I watch the product on the field from him right now, I'm like, oh my God, he knew exactly what he was doing. He totally understood how this was going to affect his game. And he looks like he is at the apex of dynamic play, both passing and running right now. It's perfection. I think he's found that intersection.
Yeah, he is. He is locked. I mean, he is playing as well as any quarterback ever has played. Truly, like that. To be on the verge of your third MVP, like that list is really, really tiny. I think the one difference, you talk about the playoffs, and I hate the narrative so much. Oh, he can't win a big game. He can't win whatever. That's I get it though. He has struggled, so that has to be part of his story. But it's always felt like the Ravens have kind of gotten to the playoffs and said, all right, Lamar, it's time to shine. It's all on your shoulders. And now with the big 247-pound back next to him, that's not the case anymore.
Right.
Lamar, I don't think you could tell Lamar's body language in that loss to the Chiefs last AFC Championship game that he was trying so hard and he was just he wanted it so bad that I think he forced some mistakes and whatnot. I think the pressure's off of him now because it's like, all right, if we're playing the Buffalo Bills, it's like, all right, there's Derrick Henry 6 straight times on this drive. Like, he didn't have that last year. They didn't even really hand off at all in the AFC Championship game. I think that Derrick Henry has changed the entire outlook for the Ravens and made them a team that was great last regular season with a capital G, great. Derrick Henry's made them a completely different team.
And you know, the last game, like he throws a a block at one point for Derrick Henry. Like he's out in front, kind of like trying to throw a lead block. I'm like, that's the most expensive lead blocker in the history of football.
Every Ravens personnel person's going, oh my God, get out of the way.
Do not do that. What are you doing?
That's teaching tape both ways. Like teaching the effort, yes, and then teaching the don't do this ever again, yes. Here's what just absolutely drives me crazy about the way Lamar is covered. I'm still waiting for the I was wrong, my bad from so many people. Like, be real for a second. Josh Allen was destroyed his first few years in the league. And I remember watching Louis Riddick, for example, do big cuts on Josh Allen and why his accuracy was never going to get better. And that's changed. And what do you hear people say when they cover Josh Allen now? They say, man, really wrong about Josh Allen. He's become so much better quarterback than we expected. Where is the mea culpa from the world that told Lamar Jackson he wasn't going to be a successful quarterback? Where's Bill Polian coming out and saying, man, I was wrong about this player? Where are all of the people that have sat here and doubted every step of Lamar's career? Where are the apologies? And then you look at the contract. When he wanted the contract, oh, he's being selfish. He doesn't deserve it. He's never earned it. And then he goes out, he gets the contract. Oh, the Ravens are going to suck. What are we watching? We're watching this greatness.
Screwed the NFL teams got this wrong.
I want
Lamar wasn't going to go in the first
out.
round until Ozzie Newsome was like, yeah, we want that 5th-year option. We'll trade up for the last pick. Lamar Jackson was going to be a 2nd-round pick. Like if Ozzie doesn't make that move.
I want all of these people to come out. I want the media. I want the fans. I want teams. I want everybody to come out and say, hey, guess what? We screwed this up, and Lamar is absolutely great.
And while you're at it, do that for Tua, too, because Tua deserves that as well. I'm just saying.
Let's keep Tua healthy. But I think, C-Rob, to your point, since that massive deal came through, Lamar's done nothing but earn it. And like at some point, he's done nothing but earn it. He does nothing but earn it. He's an MVP candidate every year. He's one of the best players in the NFL. Like, there's a lot of people that just need to eat a bunch of crow on Lamar Jackson.
Frank's out here trying to start like side fist fights in the middle of a fight. He's like, let's throw Tua in this.
Tua is the most underappreciated player in the NFL.
Okay, but that's a whole other conversation, Frank.
Stop trying the most underappreciated. Tua is underappreciated.
The point is nobody wants to backtrack on their draft takes.
Okay,
that's what it is.
We're not talking about Tua right now, so stick to the subject, Frank.
It's the same. Okay? It is a subject. Okay. Nobody wants to take the L of being wrong on Lamar. Nobody wants to take the L of being wrong on Tua.
No one was talking about Tua. You brought him into the conversation.
I did.
Okay, so I am taking him out. We'll talk about Tua later. Let go. We'll talk about Tua later.
I refuse. This is my hill.
Frank, this is the equivalent. We're sitting at the bar and we're having a conversation about like Louis, like we're having a conversation about $150 per shot whiskey, and you're coming in bringing like a nice bottle of Jack to it. Tua's fine, but he does not belong in the same conversation as what we're having.
No, it's. But what about Don Julio? How come we're not talking about Don Julio right now? like what the hell, man? We don't. It's not a Julio conversation. Let it go.
I got my Crusades, boys. I'm gonna die.
Anyway, going back to the conversation that we were talking about, part of that, I don't think he wants an apology. That's the great thing about him. He has done things his own way every step. And you've never heard him say, I don't even feel like I've really, maybe occasionally he'll slip up and there will be a little bit of it. But I haven't even really heard him say, yeah, what now? What now? Like, look at what I've done. No, I've never really heard that from him. Instead, so here's a little inflection point too. This is what it's like to go to games and cover him. There are a lot of games where you will go and you'll cover it. And then you're like, okay, quarterback's doing podium. Well, let's go ahead and wait 45 minutes. Because it's going to take forever for them to shower and get manicured and get all the suit and all this stuff and look perfect when they get up there. Lamar shows up to podiums after games wearing his pads. That's how he shows up. That dude is like, I am football. I'm ready to talk football. Game's over, win or loss, whether it was great and I'm happy or whether it was horrible and I got to go out there and talk about this and I don't want to. He rolls in his pads. He takes the questions. He answers them all. And then he rolls out. And I'm like, I kind of respect that. I respect this dude just being about the game and just being about football because that's how it feels with him. And I don't think he wants other people's apologies. I think he wants to go out. He's going to win. He's going to show it on the field. And the one aspect of his game where I'm really impressed and give him his flowers every day is there was always this idea or this narrative of, well, you just make him a pocket quarterback. And if you make him a pocket quarterback, he'll fall. He's not a pocket quarterback. He is a pocket quarterback. Guess what?
Yeah,
We're there.
Yeah.
We're there. Like, I made the mistake the other day of when I was talking about Jaden Daniels, I was like, oh, you know how we've been waiting for like this perfect quarterback who can run, but can also be a pocket passer. And I was like, oh, and we've got him. Well, guess what, Charles? You were wrong. We've had him. It's Lamar. He got there. He's there.
Yeah,
he's the first.
He's playing at a level that we've rarely seen in the NFL. I mean, if ever, for that brand of quarterback.